Well, Connus at top, and welcome to the Journeymen Route 1 special League of Ireland preview with the only cunt that actually knows anything about the League of Ireland,
Scott.
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah, that's me. There's Dan.
Hey.
And there's Scott.
Greatest league in the world.
Hashtag greatest league in the world. And it is ironic, just in case you thought we all had a chip on our shoulder.
Pure irony.
It is genuine irony. But the greatest league in the world is not the Premier League. It's not, and it never was. Anyway, it's League of Ireland today, lads.
It is.
Dan, you went to one match last year.
I went to one match last
One
year.
match, and you went to
None, but I live.
Despite the fact you live in the shadow of Dalyland Park.
That's my problem. I don't live near again.
Yeah,
I was
like
looking at the lights last night. The lights were switched on last night. They looked lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disappointing that when they
They
do
knock the
it
whole
up,
thing
they're
down.
going to knock the
Yeah.
fucking lights down. Like the lights
Why are they doing that?
What, redeveloping it?
Yeah.
Because it's a kip.
Is it? I've never been inside there.
It's a kip.
Oh.
It's full on.
It
Yeah.
looks like a kip near.
Closest place I live to near is Bowes. It's still miles away, and I don't want to go to a Bowes game. Look, bring back Sporting Fingal, for fuck's sake.
It was handy for him.
Yeah.
It was handy for
And they
him.
won shit because they had a lot of money.
And bring Longford back into the Premier League. Neil Fenn's their manager now. Like, they're on an upward trajectory or something. I don't know. League of Ireland.
You got a lot of writing here.
League of Ireland today. Well, like, basically, what I did was just wrote down all the new signings and all the players that teams lost and whether, in my opinion, they're good or bad. Because you don't know nothing about these players.
I know some of them, but only from what you told me.
You know what, Finch? Run us down through them and we'll tell you whether or not they're good or bad.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
name a player there and I'll tell you if he's good.
Okay, Dara Leahy.
Good.
Good for what he was signed for. Not a great player, but he'll get a job done.
All of the players were signed for free, Dan.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying he was good for what he was signed for that position. Like, he was, he's not going to be a superstar, but he's going to do well for them.
He did
What
sign for
position does he play
Bowes.
then?
I couldn't even tell you what fucking position.
See, he's an enigma.
I mean, like, yeah, everyone else I know where they play, but
Let's hear you, Finch.
I don't know whether we'll go like team by team.
No,
But-
just pick a few. Pick the favourites.
I'm not picking the favourites. It's boring. Like, the favourites are Cork and Dundalk. We'll go. We'll start.
Who's your dark horse for this year? Do you think?
Everybody's saying Waterford. There's a huge step up from.
But they're
first
only gone
division.
up the division. That's
Yeah. There's a huge step up from First Division to Premier League, and it's dependent on.
As in they're dark horses and they're gonna win it, or they're dark horses and they're gonna.
There's no dark horse that's going to win. It's between Cork and Dundalk. That's it. I mean, like, Rovers might think that they have a chance, but they still are managed by an absolute meme. In fact, in my notes, I've said that they're managed by a meme in Stephen Bradley.
It does say manager meme.
Manager meme, because he's just not a good manager. And their signings have been fun. I mean, there's one Joey O'Brien from the physio. Like, he hasn't played in 2 years. I saw Greg Bulger, who was the best player in the league 5 years ago. Joel Koostrain, who was a terrible second name, from Wraith Rovers. There's one Ali Gilchrist from St Johnstone as well. Like, these are players that don't. Ethan Boyle from Finn Harps to replace Simon Madden, who is probably the second best right back in the league.
Where's he gone?
Gone to us. Thank you, Simon. Come on over. But this thing is, like, Rovers might think that they have a chance, but they don't. They signed Daniel Carr from, like, some team in, like, from League 2. They were trying to sign Dan O'Cleary, who used to play for Liverpool, but he signed for Dundalk instead, and apparently he was shite during pre-season as well. They also tried to sign Owen Stokes from Leeds, but he ended up signing for Bowes yesterday. They also tried to sign Kevin Toner from Aston Villa, who ended up signing for Pats. There's something fishy there. Something fishy, you know, something fishy.
No one wants to play for Rovers.
I mean, I don't fucking blame them. I mean, the best signing they could have made this in the off-season was to get rid of the meme and bring in Harry Kenny, who managed to take the most dysfunctional team in the whole of the League of Ireland, and that is some feat in Bray Wanderers. And then he finished at the end of the season. Harry Kenny's a Rovers legend. Perfect step up. And then I would have said they would have had a chance to, you know, break the spell of Cork and Dundalk. But they don't. They didn't. You know?
Where's Harry Kenny gone?
Harry Kenny hasn't got a job, which is strange. I mean, I think the jobs that were available for him at the end of last season would have been Limerick, and they would have been, well, obviously Bray, a job that he left. And nobody, Limerick is as dysfunctional as Bray. Like, they managed to sign back most of last year's squad, which was strange, and they added Jay Kelly, who used to play for them before he moved to Pats then in 2012.
A lot of lads moving the Pats.
Moved to Pats ages ago.
Well, I think everyone plays for everyone in the league.
Yeah.
I think that's changed now.
Yeah.
Well, not particularly. I mean, like, the classic thing is that, you know, Bows are our feeder club, but that hasn't really happened this off season. We haven't signed any player, and we give really good young players to Bows, and then they turn out to be quite good. I mean, they've lost. I mean, technically, Ismail Akanade was one of our youth players, but we got rid of him for strange circumstances in 2012. I can't remember what exactly happened to him.
Might have said it at the start of the video.
Might have said, I don't know. Fudzar, Fad Soule, moved to Barnet, which is a very strange move because why would you, like a 19-year-old, why would you move to League 2 in the middle of a relegation battle? And they also lost Warren O'Hara to Brighton and Hove Albion. So they've lost 3 very good players. They brought in JJ Lunny, who was good for Pats, like a good player. Like, he's a good footballer. He's just not great. Yeah. Keith Buckley, who's Bow's fan favourite, you know, and they're going to be very happy to have him back. Kevin Devaney, who left Galway, and I've never ever been impressed with him. Darragh Leahy, who I don't know who he is. Dylan Watts signed on loan from Leicester, who's a very good technical footballer, played for UCD before he moved off to Leicester. And if you're moving, and that was when Leicester were champions. That was probably like their first signing after they won the league. Probably wasn't going to be a first team signing, but you know,
one for the future.
Yeah, they signed Callum Moore, who, if all things go well for him today, could repeat his feat of 2012 when he scored 2 goals for Bows against Rovers in the 4-0 win at Dahlia. And Ryan Swan, whose outfielder is a Bows legend. So, not a bad sign. Plus, they kept Keith Long, which is most important. They always fight above where they're supposed to be. Their budget's probably, if not the lowest, then one of the lowest in the league. And I think top 5 finish for them, like last season, would be reasonable. I think because they play the type of football under Keith Long whereby nobody wants to play them. Nobody wants to play them. And they kept Dinny, who scores goals at Bows. I don't understand how, because when he played at Pats, he was one of the worst players I'd ever seen play for us. But he scores goals at Bows. Keith Ward, if he can stave off his injuries, then he's a baller. He's a baller. Yeah, I mean, losing O'Hara and Soule is going to be tough. But replacing Akanade with Stokes might do them a favour. But Bray, talking about Bray, they lost Keith Buckley. They also lost Ryan Brennan to Pats, and their first choice goalkeeper Peter Cherry to Cork.
You like Ryan Brennan?
I like his brother Killian. I've never seen. I've never particularly liked Ryan because he played for teams that. Well, he just never played for Pats, so I'm not gonna like him. He played for Pats, but now he plays for us, so I'm gonna support him. Yeah. And plus, I think we're the only club that, bar maybe Drogheda, that likes the Brennans. Nobody likes Killian Barrows. But I think Ryan probably has a bit of good faith with a few, not from his. Maybe from his other brothers, not Killian anyway. Okay. Killian was injured at Drogheda last season, fucked off to us halfway through the season, saved us. Exactly. What the fuck? But they finished 6th last year. They were fighting for Europe, and then, you know, their chairman called Bray County Council North Korea, and
I do remember that. Actually.
Yeah, that was a strange. Like, League of Ireland statements are usually pretty good. Yeah. Like, they're pretty entertaining. That was one of the weirdest ones. That was pretty good. That was box office stuff. Just them fighting against Wicklow County Council. They managed to sign back most of their squad, but like, I don't understand how. Yeah. They signed Gary McCabe, who could fit into any team in the League of Ireland, and would have probably had a lot of suitors. Aaron Green as well, who definitely had a lot of suitors. I think Dundalk and Rovers were looking at him. I don't know why, because he's shy, but also if you ever want to see the true disdain that Pats fans have for Aaron Green, we played them in the League Cup last year, and the video of the penalty shootout is when Aaron Green stepping up, and there's like 100 people there. Nobody's going. It's a League Cup. Nobody gives a bollocks. Was you can just quite clearly hear someone say, "You're fucking shite green, you're fucking shite green," as he's walking up, and he scores. There's just about a second silence. He's like, "You're still shite green." I fucking pissed myself laughing at that. But yeah, like I say that they've lost confidence in their long-term future as one of the players that they've lost, because genuinely it's kind of like you're just expecting them to finish down the bottom this season, even with McCabe, even with Aaron Green.
Favourites to get relegated?
I'll tell you whose favourites to get relegated. It is Limerick, who are somewhere. There we are.
Because they steamrolled the
First Division 2016. Yeah. They got dragged into a relegation battle last year. They were fine, and then they were treading water, and then they kind of just got dragged right back in. Like they ended up finished level on points with Pats, who were bottom halfway through the season. Like, so it's that kind of thing. But they lost the gaff. I call him the gaff, Chidozie Ogbeni, to Brentford. He was a shining light for them last year, and like probably a focal point of their attack. Obviously, Rodrigo Tosi was scoring banging in loads of goals last year. Well, enough goals to keep them up eventually, but Ogbene was the one where everybody was petrified of what he was going to do, because if he polishes his game off, and I think at Brentford he might actually be able to.
When did he move to Brentford?
Like during the off season.
Just there, gone.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Like, but he is scarily quick, like really, too quick.
Yeah, no, because I just it rang a bell in my head, and I thought about it, and I was like, he's one of the few League of Ireland players that you would look at and go, he's scary good. Like,
yeah, not even just foot, just like if he has the ball and he's running and he manages to keep his dribble,
he's gone.
He sounds like Adama Traore.
Yeah.
Kind of just, you're not really sure if he's very much in control, but he can.
Adama Traore one has the most completed dribbles. Like,
yeah, but that's just because he booted the ball past everybody and then ran for
it. Which is like if you
and
know how to,
did not know what
and then
did not know what to do after that.
Yeah, it's like if Ogbene knows and has polishes to his game, then. But he's a huge loss to Limerick.
Yeah.
Like Limerick have signed. I mean, they signed the fucking brother Dunces in the Dennehy's. I say that Darren Dennehy, I dislike you immensely. You are a lazy prick, and I'm genuinely delighted that you're not in our club anymore. Billy
Dennehy's a good player.
A year and a half, you were shit, and I wished you ill. Thank you for keeping us up. But I understand that you only gave a fuck because you knew that you weren't going to get a contract here, so you were trying to make everybody else be like, I'm still a good footballer. But I appreciate it because you scored a couple of goals and you made a very good tackle against Derry.
The views of Finch are not the views of the channel, but
they kind of are.
But in terms of this, they probably are.
Else,
They signed another young fella from Cork because they love doing that. First it was Ogbene, this year it's Conor Ellis, who flitted in and out. Probably should have got more game time after Shawnee Maguire left. But they also signed Daniel Kearns, who was hot property in the League of Ireland in 2010, and he's just nothing now. They signed Owen Wearing off Bowes, who broke his leg or did his ACL or basically has just been injured for the past 2 years. He pretty much useless. Signed Mark O'Sullivan from Waterford, a good second option as a striker. Danny Morrissey from Harps, another fella who just is consistently injured, and he once again signed Sean Kelly from some Sunday League team in Limerick because they need a left back, right back, one of those. They lost Ogbene. They also lost Barry Cotter, who was made famous for looking like Neymar back in the day. He had the same hair as Neymar. Look, the spitting image of Neymar. Only he was from Limerick. Like, it was crazy. Like, full on, it was mad. They lost Bastien Herry to Waterford, and that could be a big loss because when he got to grips with the League of Ireland, he was a very good midfielder, and he's got an afro, and that's really cool. So it
sounds like Limerick just haven't done enough business to keep themselves up.
No, they're dysfunctional. Their club's up for sale. I think everything was going in the right direction. Then they brought in McDonald, and then they lost it. And then as soon as the season ended, McDonald kind of was unsure of his best team. They sold Ian Turner to us, and Paul O'Connor, two players that probably should have started for them, and they kind of just went on a downward spiral.
Who went down last year?
Finn Harps, Galway, thankfully, and Drogheda.
Yeah, and teams like Waterford coming up, they're better than those guys. So it's
even looking at the players that have signed for Waterford, like they like the players that they lost. Like they lost O'Sullivan and players that I'd never seen before. They lost David McDade, who was I think there was their their top scorer last season. He was a good player, but they've signed well. I think for League of Ireland players, Akinade is a very good player, hideous, but human, but a good player. Bastian Herry, again when he got to grips with the League of Ireland, was very good. Rory Feely, who it's sink or swim time now in his career because Pats continuously played him at centre half despite the fact he was not centre half. They refused to play him at right back where I thought he would have been a right back, because what happened with him was that he was a winger and he just grew.
Okay.
Like he just grew. Like his brother Kevin plays for Kildare.
Oh yeah.
Kildare senior team, and he won a minor All Ireland. It was All Ireland. Kildare won a minor All Ireland.
What age is he?
He's like 20. Like if they won a minor All Ireland, then they
could have.
won it.
No, maybe Leinster. No, Dublin have had that on their raps for the last year.
They won a big thing.
Yeah, no, they could have.
But he played.
His brother played in England. Kevin played in England.
Kevin played for Bowes and then moved to Charlton and then went to Newport and then came back and was like, I want to play Gaelic. Just get yourself an extra paycheck. It makes sense. Well, not an extra paycheck, a paycheck. Even if it's small. They also signed Stanley Ibarra, who used to play for Ajax or something. He moved from Portsmouth. Nobody knows him.
Vincente, no?
What?
Anything to Vincente and Ibarra? No, is that not his name?
I think it's just Vincent.
It's not Vincente.
He's not Italian.
No, but
It might be. I don't know.
I just thought that was how they pronounce it.
I don't know who he's fucking talking
You know,
about.
Ibarra for Leicester.
Abora. His name is Abora.
Oh, well, sorry, you said Ibarra.
I said Ibarra.
I said Abora, yeah, because that's the way I speak.
You are boring.
They signed Niall Corbett as well from UCD, who's supposedly a good goalkeeper. John Kavanagh on loan from Cork because he'd never get in his game, and Dave Webster.
Where's Kerry Gilbert gone?
I hope he's not playing football because that was great. He played in the Champions League like a good few times.
For who?
Arsenal.
Oh.
Yeah, and then moved to Rovers, and
That wasn't even his level.
he wouldn't even got into my Temple Oak team. Like full on. Like one of the worst players, genuinely one of the worst players I've ever seen. That Rovers team that should have won like 5 or 6 or 7 titles after they got into the Europa League did contain some of the worst players that I had ever seen in the League of Ireland. Oscar Janssen.
Good goalkeeper, good Swedish goalkeeper.
Yeah, good Swedish goalkeeper. Rayad Peters, a great South African goalkeeper. Correa Gilbert. Killian Brennan at left back.
It's not pronounced Correa.
It's Correa.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was just Kerry.
Nah, Correa.
Oh.
But we'll get onto the big boys now. I mean, we're not talking about Sligo. Probably they'll be down the bottom. Like they did nothing. It's on Caelan McAleer, who's an angry little man. But he's a very good footballer, but an angry. He had like 13 yellow cards last season. He's a winger.
That's okay.
That'd be you. Yeah, that'd be you playing ball. But we'll get onto the big boys.
As you do, keep going. I'm paranoid. I'm going to make sure everything's still recording because
Okay.
I've had a lot of issues lately.
Fair enough. You do that then. Everybody say hi to Nan. Cork City.
Yeah.
You might know a bit about Cork City.
Small bit.
Yeah. They don't have Sean Maguire anymore.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I knew that.
He's still a loss. And I put him down here because he is still a loss because they signed Graham Cummins and Josh O'Hanlon, who scored 2 goals for us last year in the league. I mean, he's another raw, not polished player, you know.
Were you sad to see him go?
No, I was shocked that Cork signed him. Like I knew that he probably wasn't going to sign for us again, but Cork really signed Peter Cherry as backup, even though he's better than Mark McNulty, their captain and goalkeeper. He's not their captain anymore. Conor McCormick is another Pats reject. Who's winning leagues now.
Yeah, but weird that the rejects have made the step
Yeah. I know. Barry McNamee from Derry, which is a very good signing. A coup, some might call it a coup. If you're a pigeon.
Coop. Scott.
Coop. There's on Graham Cummins who scored one of their most famous goals in their short history of 7 years. Because, they went into liquidation, who scored the winning goal against Shells to win win the first division. Shells still went up, but they were expecting to win the league, and then Cork scored in the last minute. I was so happy. I can't wait until that club dies.
Why? Best stadium in the league.
I do love
Talca's
I
amazing.
do love Talca Park. Talca Park is a
Such a
great
mess.
stadium. But as soon as they die,
City College Stadium.
it's Flan Zero.
Flan
I'm sorry,
Zero.
it's Flan Zero. This on Aaron Barry from Derry, who really came into his own after the unfortunate circumstances with Roy McBride. He actually held Derry's defence down quite well. Colin Horgan from Galway, who's fine. They might only are they signing him because he's related to Daryl? I don't know.
Oh, is he?
Toby Adebayo Rowling, who got caught having sex on camera.
Fuck, I thought you were saying Toby Alderweireld.
Yeah, I thought that's where that was going as well.
Unfortunately, it's not. They signed Danny Kane, which is a good signing because he.
Brother Harry's.
Hey.
What
Good signing.
size
Ireland
youngster
under,
today?
Ireland under 21 internationals. Good player. They lost Ryan Delaney, who is a stock and a shy and is so overrated. So overrated.
Danish?
No,
It's a Danish name.
Thomas Delaney.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Delaney's a Danish name, isn't it?
He signed for Rochdale, and his level is about 2 or 3 tiers below Rochdale. He's genuinely shy. Genuinely shy at football. Still a loss, Johnny Maguire. Conor Ellis moving to Limerick. Did they need him? Akil Campion moved to Linfield on loan. That's a funky departure. Greg's gone to Rovers. Boy, Greg, boy to your career and your discipline, because you're gonna get so many red cards at Rovers because they don't give up bollocks. And John Campbell went on loan to Waterford. Yeah, I think it's Cork's to lose, but there's also
Up against
Dundalk, who signed, former Liverpool player Christian Adorjan.
Oh, I was thinking of Adam Morgan somewhere as well, isn't
Oh,
he?
yeah, Adam Morgan
Sligo.
signed. Yeah,
Yeah.
from Halifax. He didn't he's from Halifax. He's been flitting around the clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. He won't.
I'll keep
He'll
an eye.
leave after 9 goals.
I'll keep an eye on Christian Adorjan. I liked watching him back when LFC TV was free.
Was he any good?
I mean, he's playing for Dundalk now. If you don't make it in like Premier League youth team by the time you're like 18, you're not going to make it ever.
Yeah, fair. Unless you're Harry Kane.
Yeah. Well, you could do okay.
They also signed Karolis Shividoukas,
Good name.
Lithuanian international.
Good name.
They also signed, and it says Stephen Fowler here, but cunt would be a better description of him. And I don't know how you've managed, Stephen. I don't know how you've managed to work your way into getting a contract with Dundalk.
We know you're
because
watching.
you're genuinely terrible,
Also,
and I'm looking directly in your face.
What
now.
makes him a
You're
cunt?
Genuinely terrible. He started giving it the big right. Michael Barker, we're playing in the FAI Cup last year, second round. Michael Barker makes a challenge, right? Doesn't means to go for the ball, like it's not malicious. He ends up breaking Jonah Oyunga's leg. Like,
Yeah.
it was not
Happens
cynical.
occasionally.
Stephen Fallon gives it the big one on Twitter, like, look at this, what the fuck is he doing? Shut up. Fuck you, Stephen. Pat Hoban's back after failing in England horrifically. But he'll score goals. Dean Jarvis from Derry, astute signing, probably a better left back than Dave Massey. And Ronan Murray, who will probably turn out to be the signing of the season because he is class. He is absolute class.
A lot of Galway players got out once they went down, it seems.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, they did them a favour. They gave them Carlton Ubezuno. They gave him on loan, and they lost Shane Grimes. I think he retired. I don't know where he's gone. In all honesty, I just said Shane Grimes. That's it.
I was wondering what that's.
A lot of Galway players got out, rightfully so. Gavan Holohan actually signed for.
Gavin Houlihan.
His name is his name is Gavan,
Okay.
and it's not Houlihan like with double O's. It's HOLO.
Holland.
Yeah.
That's like Wesley.
No, Wesley's got double O's.
No,
Hool.
it doesn't,
It is. Yeah, he has.
Is
he
it?
has. I'm a League of Ireland fan. And
Oh,
he
yeah,
Sherman,
that's
so,
right. Yeah, sorry.
so yeah. So shut the fuck. But yeah, he's got double O's, so it's Gavan Holohan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I
So
think rolls off the tongue quite well.
Yeah, the Caveh Solakal.
Yeah, Caveh Solakal. Shout out to Caveh Solakal. We're big fans of yours.
So Dundalk will be.
Dundalk and Cork. I say Dundalk might beat them because they have Graham Cummins, but we don't know how well Graham Cummins is going to play in the Premier Division because he never played for Cork in the Premier Division, I think, as far as I'm aware. I think he moved to Preston on the back of his First Division exploit. Now, he was banging in goals in the First Division, and if he can replicate that form, then forget about it. forget about it. Then I think it's Cork's to lose.
Haven't even mentioned Dundalk's friend of the show.
Oh yeah, Connor Shields' brother, who was on one of our drafts, Chris Shields. He plays for Dundalk. He's good at football. So
he's never scored a goal for Dundalk, though, has
he? Doesn't need to.
So Chris, if you're watching, show your teammate Stephen Fowler.
Show your teammate Stephen Fowler. If he remembers this face. Yeah. Oh, just like it just annoyed me. It's like there's no need for you to go and say that. The cunt didn't mean to go and break his leg.
Well, maybe he just felt very strongly about it.
I felt very strongly about you. You mistimed the tackle before, like you know what I mean. Like, especially if you're a centre half, you mistimed the tackle. You know, and then plus, if you've injured someone, you know how bad you'd feel because you never mean to hurt, unless you're a wanker, hurt a fellow professional. You know. So there's no need for you to say that, Stephen. Maybe I'm a bit harsh with the cunt, but I like to protect Mick Barker, you know, because he had a tough time last year. Okay? He had a tough time last year.
It's like Stoke fans booing Aaron Ramsey for getting his leg broken.
Yeah, but I'll never boo Jonah Oyunga for getting his leg broke. Like that's just like
so we don't know that.
That'd be stupid. Like
Only what if the circumstances were right? If he just scored against us.
He actually did score against us that game, but I didn't clap him off because he like the young fella's only 19, broke his leg. Like, it's bad sauce. I don't like that. But like, it all depends on reaction. Yeah, I don't like Stephen Fowler for his reaction to it.
We haven't spoken about Pats much yet.
We're just gonna exist this season. We're not getting relegated. Like, just we're not gonna, mate.
They're never gonna get relegated.
Never going down.
Did I tell you that we're never actually relegated from the first?
Maybe. Never mentioned. I don't know.
Yeah, we're like. I think we're gonna. I think we've bought well in the off season, better than we did the previous 2 years. Who we've lost? We lost Billy Dennehy, who like played well for the last couple of games of last year. And his brother, who likes drinking Muju and pretending that it's a basketball after he's finished it and always misses the bin.
Oh, McGrain.
Yeah. We lost Josh O'Hanlon. Paul O'Connor. Shout out to Paul O'Connor for scoring 2 goals. I liked when you scored those goals. Rory Feely, who got us a penalty against Derry. That was the best thing that he did. Lunny's might be a miss. Who knows?
I don't get the joke.
Alex O'Hanlon captained Liverpool youth teams. Captained Liverpool youth teams.
Him. I keep up with Liverpool youth. I don't even remember.
I swear to God, he did. Right? He came over here. He doesn't know how to use his right foot. He used his right foot once, and he scored against Bows. That was once.
You think he'd do it a bit more often?
Yeah.
Like,
I've never been so infuriated, and it just...
That's actually one thing that really infuriates me as
you're always
watching football, is
players
that can't use both feet.
But it's like
you literally get paid to play football.
You
should use both feet.
Yeah, and plus, young fella, you were a Liverpool Academy.
Yeah.
Liverpool Academy, not just there for like a year or two, and they got rid of him. 5 years, because he left when he was 20, I think.
Yeah. Whatever about a Premier League academy not producing Premier League players, they should be able to produce League of Ireland players. We never have good luck with players that come from Liverpool to play for Pats. It just never happens. I think if you have Michael Foley Sheridan, he wasn't very good. But these kind of players, would you like John Flanagan?
No, absolutely
not. Would Bowes like him?
Oh God. Oh fuck me. Alex O'Hanlon though, I just don't understand. Because it's perplexing. It is perplexing how a player couldn't translate being in any way decent for Liverpool's youth teams. Come over here and it's just bad. We lost fan favourite Jordy Balk to the 3rd division of Dutch football because he just didn't want to stay in Ireland.
He was good.
Oh, he was great. I loved him. He was so good.
Did he just not like Ireland?
No, I think he just wanted to move back home. I think he was settled in Holland, didn't get a contract at us, so was waiting around for ages, and then we came along.
It was a bit of a stopover.
Keep himself taken over, and then he went right back into the Dutch season, so it made sense for him. But again, we'll always appreciate what he brought to us. Probably the player with the most passion for Pats I've ever seen. and he was here for like a week. Like, it was mad. It was mad. It was like, because he just probably came from a culture whereby like they appreciated like fans and like what they bring, so that when he came over here, he was like, so all over the camp, loved him. And we also lost. Oh, my favourite meme of last year was Lucas Scouron. Just a bad goal. By the time the end of the season came around, he actually like was decent. But I've never seen a goalkeeper just so bad but so good at the same time. Because he pull off, like I said, top corner, like, get that out, just palm that to the side, what tap. But come for a cross, please stay in your line. And couldn't kick a ball. Actually couldn't kick a ball. Like, it was like me when I used to play in goal and used to get the centre half to take the kick out. Cause I was like, yeah, because I couldn't kick.
I think every goalkeeper has done that. Like, I used to have to.
No, I like kicking the ball. It's always, I always said Irish goalkeepers should be better at kicking them off in their hands because of gas.
Yeah, but Lucas Scouron's from Poland.
Are there any Irish? It seems a lot of goalkeepers aren't Irish. I don't know why. Maybe it's just anecdotal. Waterford,
Corbett, Irish. Pats, we're going to start with Murphy. We also have Brian Maher, who's Ireland under-19 international, and Pat Jennings. Pat Jennings Jr., not Pat Jennings. I prefer Pat Jennings Senior, even though he's like 75. But we have a son.
Right, you got Cork City first game. What are you thinking?
Oh, we're gonna beat them like 7-0 or something. Probably. I'd like a draw. I'd like a draw tonight. That'd be good. Good way to start the season because we can win our next 3 or 4 after that. Quarter day. Rovers and Bows on telly, bro.
Of training.
That's unfortunate. Rovers and Bows on telly then.
I'll give it a watch. Actually, I actually will.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather watch. Like, you'd rather watch.
If I was free of a Friday evening, I would watch it. I just never am. I'm always working.
There's a midweek fixtures like Monday week. So.
We'll talk about that Monday week.
And we're playing.
Let's fucking go to it.
Because we're playing down in Waterford. I'm not asked going to Waterford.
Oh, but you can
go somewhere else.
You can go see your friend.
Daily, you live beside it.
Yeah, you live actually beside.
Yeah, I'll go daily.
Respect. Go to League of Ireland matches. It's good. Like, I mean, I know the football is shit, but like it's good. It's good.
It's not.
It is something to do. Like, even I agree. I don't go to games, but it's still.
I'd rather watch football there than watch it on telly. Simple as. Plus, it's really funny. Plus, last year was the first time I ever got a rise out of a footballer while they were on the pitch. Jerry Doherty, if you're watching, do you still want a bit of his hair, bro? Because he's bald. And we were going mad at him.
That's why.
And then he said something. And then he said, "You're getting relegated." And I said, "What's that, Jerry? I can't tell you all this hair in my ear, bro. What's the story? Do you want a bit of it? And then actually ripped out a lot of my hair and fucked it at him. It was great.
Wrap it up.
The League of Ireland's great. Cork and Dundalk are probably going to win the league. I'd like us to finish in Europe. We probably won't. Get down to your local League of Ireland football ground, support local, but also just watch football because football is the best sport in the world. Anything you'd like to say?
No.
Anything you'd like to say? You're supposed to say, "Come on, Longford."
Come on, Sporting Fingal.
Oh, come on, Town.
Still hoping for it to come back.
Town.
Shouldn't have paid your players so much. Lost all your money.
Thanks for giving us Liam Buckley. I mean, it was good for a while. If we're shit. Oh, yeah.
That's kind of like an Arsene Wenger thing at the minute, isn't it? People, like, Buckley done well, but now everyone's, like, calling for his head.
Alright.
Or it's
or you kind of got
podcast tomorrow. Don't know what it's going to be on yet. We'll find out. We're about to record it.